episode of Groovy Tuesday. My name's Paul Church from Clarity Stamp here in the UK. How's everyone doing today? Good morning from Clive in a dull and damp Swindon. Good morning, first in the room this morning, Clive. How's everybody doing? I know it takes a while for people to come in on the chat, so I shall do my usual waffling and have a slurp of coffee. It is that time of the week again. Oh, that went down the wrong hole. Don't drink and talk at the same time. Sound is good. Thank you, Stuart. Stuart is in the room with you today. Good morning, Mo, Clive. Here we all come. Everybody's coming in. So, yeah, Tuesday again. And it's my chance just to have an hour of chill. Getting in the groove, getting together with a group of lovely friends. Good morning. There we go. Judith. Oh, it was on it. Everyone's coming up at the same time. Judith, Chris, Karen, Sharon, and Catherine, Sue. Good morning. Good morning, Angela. There we go. So some of you are tuning in via our YouTube page and some of you on our Facebook page. Most of the chat does happen on Facebook. So when I start talking to people and answering questions, if you can't see it because you're on YouTube, then you may want to pop over to the Clarity Facebook page. So who else? There we go. We've got Ken in the room, lovely Jane, Karen, Lorraine. We're going to have our weekly weather report shortly to see what the weather's like with everybody, because snow is forecast, or some of you may already have snow. So should we give an update to everybody? What's the weather like where you are today? Do you have snow? Is it just dull and wet? It's dull and wet here in Real. Is this falling off the table? Sunny. Glynis has got sun. Goodness me. Bright in North Yorkshire, but cold. Good morning from a bright, sunny Antrim. Wow, I haven't seen any snow reports yet. I thought they said on the news it was meant to be snow everywhere. Everyone seems to have sunshine. Cold and wet in Shoreham. Yeah, a real mixture, but I haven't seen any snow reports. Raining, sunshine. Oh, why have all these people got sunshine? Please, can you send some down to Kent? So, sun everywhere's got sunshine. I don't know. Why do we listen to the weather reports with all these weather warnings and everyone else? So we've got a bit of frost in North Wales. I love this beginning of Groovi Tuesday, just getting the weather report. And it seems that the overall consensus is that most of you have sunshine today. Excellent. Excellent indeed. So, so what have we been up to since we last met? So last week, where's my notes gone from last week? That'll tell me what we did in between. Oh yeah, I was on TV on Sunday with some beautiful stamp designs of the Floral Delights, the All Occasions Floral Delights, designed by Jazz in the office. Sorry, got brain fog today. Normally you do TV and the following day you're tired, but it's the day after that it really hits you. And yeah, today is the second day. Normally if I do it like when I've done TV on the Friday, I've got the weekend to recover. But yeah, very, very foggy today. But it's fine because we're going to chill for the hour and we're going to have some fun. So yeah, so we had the cut card kits with the book box storage. Try saying that fast. Had to be careful how we said that on TV on Sunday. And with the new trees, beautiful designs, and we had the garden bird as well. Those storage boxes, absolutely lovely. And then we had the floral bouquets with the vases in stamps, and then the floral wreaths from Jazz. Really, really nice. And I sort of planned out all these demos and I managed to get 7 out of 9. So that was really, really good. It was just a manic 2 hours. Although it went in a blur, but it was all good fun. So this week, I reckon we'll come to the end of doing our pico cutting. And then we're going to have a look at using the plate in a different way next week. Okay. So do we have any newbies in the room? Is anyone tuning in for the first time? It's nice to see. We often get every week a few new people tuning in for the first time. I'm still reading all these weather reports coming in. I don't think I've seen, I may have missed any. I don't think anybody's got snow. So perfect. What are the weather people going on about? That's all I can say. So what we've been doing, we've been looking at this design from Josie Davidson. And it's one of our duet plates. And when we talk about a duet plate, it has a combination of Groovi and perforating. And it's really it makes creating gridwork, lacework, really achievable. I've got a couple of pieces of artwork here to show you. So this is a piece of artwork created by Jane Telford. See, that's lovely, isn't it? With just the K in the centerpiece. I had a message from Mo Neeson earlier. Well, she sent it last week and I've only just picked it up on Facebook. Maybe we could do something to do with the coronation to go in this as a centerpiece. And I think a letter would be lovely. And I mean, we could do K for King, we'd do C for Charles, or we could just choose a letter of our choice. So maybe we can have a look at that in a couple of weeks. Take one of those lovely alphabets that Barbara designed and just work on one of those. I'll give that one some thought. Next week, though, I want to do something different with the grids. Then we have another piece from Glynis. Mother's Day coming up. I believe it's this Sunday. Yeah, I think it is this Sunday. So it's got that lovely piece there. Then we have an exquisite piece from Francis Knott. And you can see where the ribbon has been thread through the design created by Josie. And finally, a piece from the Queen of Grids herself. It is Josie. Okay, Mother's Day is 19th of March, so I'm a week ahead. Okay, well, that's good. Or Sunday after the 19th. I'm getting a conflict now of all different dates of when Mother's Day is. Let me have a look on my calendar, see what my calendar says. Mother's Day, I've got Mother's Day is Sunday the 19th of March. There we go. The Sunday after, i.e. the 19th. Okay. Put your glasses on, Paul, and you might read it a bit better. So when you look at these pieces of artwork, you think there's no way you could ever achieve something as elegant as that. But you can, because Josie has created or designed the plates to make it achievable. And it's whether you go for the A4 square plates, which we've been working on. This is the ribbon collection based on a diagonal grid. Or whether you go for one of the straight designs, but they're all the same concept. You've got embossing and you've got perforating. So what we've been doing is we've been having a look at this particular one. And this is where we've got to so far. So we've done all of our embossing, we've done all of our perforating, and then we've been working around doing the pico cutting. And for each of the plates, regardless of any of the duet plates that you purchase, you have a finished piece to show you what it would look like, whether it's got the ribbon threaded through it or without, and its actual size of the actual design itself. And then on the reverse, we then have written instructions from Josie and our cutting guide. So what we're doing is that we've been using our guide to help us with our pico cutting. Okay. So what we're going to do is I reckon if I don't waffle too much, we can get this finished by the end of this session. I was going to say the day, more likely the day, but definitely by this session. And that's my plan. Okay. So what we're going to need, I'm using my 12 by 12 black super foam. If you're working with a light panel, you may want to use the white super foam. We've also got it in A4 and A5. So it's entirely up to you what you work on. We've found out over the last couple of weeks that some people prefer to pico cut in their hand. Some prefer to pico cut on the flat. Okay, so whatever's more comfortable for you. Maybe this is the first time you're trying pico cutting. Yeah, it is achievable. Just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of patience. Okay, so I've got my work, I've got my super foam, and then I've got my 3 different scissors of choice. And as you'll have seen from the past few weeks, I'm going to go with the ring lock. Okay, so let's pop those to one side. We shall gather our thoughts and our bits and pieces. Has anybody finished their piece? I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have. See, in this way we was practicing with our little crosses. Yeah, nice and calm and nice and relaxed. I've got my list as usual of bits and pieces to tell you about that's coming up this week. Lots of different bits and pieces, so I'll try and talk about that whilst pico cutting. But I think, are we ready to go? I think we're a little bit earlier than normal. That's probably because I haven't waffled as much. Okay, so nice and calm. We're going to continue with our pico cutting. Sorry, my voice went really quiet then. Probably, I mean, I'm sure some of you have probably got the volume switched off. You're just watching, see what it's all these hand gestures and everything else. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the overhead camera, and I'm going to bring it in really, really close. I know you prefer the overhead camera, so that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to do my stretching exercises. I just need to work out which way I've covered up the piece of paper. And there we go. And we're going to come in nice and slowly. And I'm just going to come in as close as I can, and then I'll move my artwork. I reckon it'll be fine. Won't go blurry if I move. Nope, that seems to be all okay. So did we have any newbies in the room? Sorry, I was waffling and looking but not looking, if that makes sense. More importantly, I definitely need to put my glasses on. That's it. That's a lot better. Okay, so the piece we're going to be looking at now is this side here. And when we have a look at the guide from Josie, it is this side here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my work round and position that just about there. I'll just bring those scissors out of the way, and then we can bring that down. So I tend to do the same part first. So for example, what we're going to have a look at here are the little pieces in the middle. Okay, these little sort of stars. I'm sure they've probably got a technical term for them. And when we have a look at the pattern, you can see it's these areas here. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to one side. I'm going to move, keep the work where it is, but I'm going to bring the mat closer to me so that my hand has got somewhere to rest. I'm holding my scissors in the spoon position, okay, which means that the curve is going upwards. Some of you, we've found over the last couple of weeks, prefer the fork position with the curve going down. Okay. We get comfortable with the way, there's no right or wrong way in which you hold your scissors, whether the curve go up or the curve goes down. At the end of the day, it needs to be comfortable in your hand if you want to do the picot cutting. Okay, so for me, I come in with my thumb and forefinger, and then these fingers here sort of rest on the side. Okay, I'm just going to move that slightly across there. Let me just get this right. Okay, and I'm going to do all the cutting in one direction first. Again, it's down to choice. Some of you may prefer to do them individually, but for me, I tend to get a nice flow if I go all in the right direction. So I think in order to speed this up a little bit, what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at everything that is at a diagonal here. Okay, so let me bring in, let's have a look if I got it on there. No, I haven't got it on there. I was just having a look at see if it go big, but so to start off with, what we're going to do, I'm going to do these bits first. So instantly, as I start to put the scissors in, the parchment doesn't feel as if it's at the right angle in order to for me to get that picot cut. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just turn. If you look, my scissors, the way in which I'm holding them, my hand's here. Let me sort of come in. My hand is here, and the scissors are just sitting comfortably in my hand, like at this bit. If I turn my hand like that, my wrist is bent. Let me zoom out on this bit just to show you. Okay. Let me, stretch again. So let me go out. There we go. Just to show you, I'm going to zoom out quite a bit. So my hand is resting on the black mat, my wrist here, like so. And I can move the mat so that I've got a nice stable. And because I'm using the 12 brush, I tell you what, I'm going to go bigger. Let's go big. Okay, let's zoom out quite a bit so you can really see. Woo. There we go. Right. 12 by 12. And I'm resting my arm on the foam. And really, this is the area that I'm going to be working in. And I'm holding my scissors. Now my hand feels nice and comfortable and relaxed. Okay, and you can see then the angle in which the scissors are to my hand. Now, if I was to do that, my wrist is at an angle and it feels very uncomfortable. My arm is sort of off of the mat. So I know that if I was to do my picot cutting this way, I wouldn't enjoy it. So the whole part is if I bring this round this way, like so, my hand feels nice and relaxed and it's comfortable. So when I bring my artwork in, this hand won't move. I mean, it moves in order to do the twisting and the snipping, but it won't really move from this position. So I'm just going to do some long distance picot cutting, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see I'm turning my work until it's in that comfortable position. And then I'm just sliding it along so I can do the row in one go. So the hand isn't moving. Okay. It's just staying in that one position because it's nice and comfortable. So I'm going to go along and I'm going to do this row. I will zoom in shortly so we can see it in a little bit more detail. But I think it's important just so you could sort of see how I do it. Because I think it's important. Your hand definitely needs to be comfortable, because if it's uncomfortable, it's going to sort of put you off from doing it, really. So now you'll see that I'm jumping down into the next row, and I'm doing everything. I'm doing all of the perforations that are in that position. And once you get into the rhythm, you just go along and continue. Okay. And for me personally, I find that this is what works for me. Okay. We're going to come down. Now we're going to go to the next row. So I'm still, excuse me, I'm just going backwards and forwards. I suppose it's like a sewing machine, isn't it? The parchment is my piece of material. That on a sewing machine, the needle stays in that same position, and it's the material that moves. And I'm not saying my hand has the perfection of a sewing machine. Oh no, you won't see this. I'm glad I'm pulled right out. I've missed the perforation there. But you know what? Look, let's zoom in now so you can see. Right, I'm going to zoom in now. Coming really close. So I've just seen from Judith, most important thing I have learned is not to go in too deep with the point of scissors. Absolutely right, Judith. I mean, although these are scissors, the key part of the whether it be the ring lock, the perga cutters, or the exclusives, is the tips of the scissors. It's only the tips. It's not even, it's probably about that much that is doing the work. The rest of the scissor is redundant. We're not interested in the blade further up. It's just about that much. And if you go in too far, then all that's going to happen is that the blade is actually going to cut the parchment rather than the snip. Okay, right. Okay, let's have a look. Just have a slurp of coffee. Now, where's that missing perforation gone? Will I find it again? Where is it? It was over here. I haven't moved. There it is. It's missing there. Can you see? 1, 2, 3. So that is very simply rectified. We take our plate that says perforate this side up. We're going to position that back in place. Make sure the design is the same. So I know it's in the right position because this is like a castle turret. And we should find that it will slot back into place. There we go. Because we've already perforated, it slots back in. Okay. And I'm going to go, so now I can go in and I can put that perforation in. Just like so. As if it was always there. And technically it was there, but I didn't see it when I was perforating. So let's pop that plate back over there. Put my hand back in position. Okay, so just make sure it's comfortable. And now I'm bringing my work to my scissors. And let's go along and continue. Okay. Now, because I've come in close, I'm just going a little bit more slowly. Come down, we've done that row. I'm just checking. Yep, and now we're going to do the bottom row. So I'm still holding the design at the same angle. Okay. And when we was doing this previously, I did all these bits first, and I went and did those bits. It's entirely up to you where you start to picot cut, whether you decide to do, you may just want to do that section, then move on to that section. There's no rules. Well, if there is, I haven't read them. There's no rules in Josie's instructions saying do this bit first, do that bit first. So let's make sure I'm still in camera. Okay. So that is everything done in, let's have a look. This section, this one, and this one. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rows, all in the same way. Okay. So now I'm going to turn, let's go this way. So now my hand is still the same. Okay. And let's do this angle. So let's start on the outside edge first. And then we're just going to move along. I need eyes in the top of my head so I can see when I go out of camera. I'll just have to keep looking up, won't I? But I suppose if my hand is staying in the place, it should always be in the camera. See, it didn't feel, no, look here. It's not snipping. And the reason being also is because I've gone in too far with the points of my scissors. So therefore what the blades, the tips are trying to do is to cut the black foam underneath. So just pull it out a little bit and then we have the snip. Okay. And when you do, for me personally, I find that if I do it this way, where I'm doing everything in the same direction first, your hand sort of gets into that rhythm, and I'm not saying you speed up, but it seems to go more quickly, if that makes sense. Or is it just me? So I reckon it's not going to take us long to do this one side. If you consider over the past few weeks, it's taken me one session to do one side. And I definitely reckon the way in which we're going now. So if you want to see it in a, sorry, out of focus. Why did it move? Hang on. No, come back a little bit. If you want to see the other sides, then you can, in a much slower process, then you can go back and watch. So I'm missing this right now. You can go back and watch on our YouTube page where all of the previous episodes are there. I'm just going to carry on like so. Now we're moving down to the next row. But it's that satisfying snip sound that you get, isn't it? So I'm definitely chilled and relaxed now. Okay, now down to the final row here. How are we all doing? Still got anybody in the room? Look. Yeah, you're still there, keeping me company. I'm just gonna all the way along. So what have we got this week? Okay, so who checked out Barb's blog last night? And where she's talking about working alongside Sam and Leonie and Tina. And she also gave a little tease about our open days coming up in June. Well, I'm pleased to let you know that the tickets are now available on our website. It is £8 for the day. I just need to get my hand comfortable on this one. Where am I going? This one here. It's Friday the 9th of June and Saturday the 10th of June. It is at the Ditton Community Centre in Ditton near Maidstone, so it's easily accessible. There is lots of free parking and we have refreshments. Okay, hands up in the room who has been to one of our Clarity Open Days in Ditton. Go on, hands up. I've just seen Sue said she's already bought. Sue, I think you was the first one this morning to purchase the tickets. I think you was either the first or the second customer to buy them. So they're selling well. We haven't even sent out the e-shot yet. Stuart's just popped the link up. So yeah, so it's 2 days. I mean, obviously you can come for a Friday, you can come for a Saturday, you can come for both days. I know many of that have been before. Glynis, you've been before, haven't you? Oh yeah, and Jane. Yeah. Glynis does the snip clinic. So if you want to get one-to-one tuition from an expert, then Glynis will be there running her snip clinic again. Yeah. See, sometimes, I mean, it's good that I can show you on the camera and I can share my hints and tips and suggestions. And but sometimes we need hands-on experience. So that would be the perfect opportunity to join us at Ditton at our open days. Sign up for the snip clinic with Glynis and she'll have you pico cutting before you leave. So yeah, so we have so it's Friday and Saturday. So I keep losing my track. Friday and I've missed that one over there. Sorry, go back, come down. Friday and Saturday, the 9th and 10th of June, £8 for the day. No club discounts on the tickets. And it's 9 till 4. Have lots of fantastic demonstrators. Obviously, we have a shop if you choose to purchase. If you belong to our clubs, then your club discount will apply whilst you're there. So, Patricia, where can I get the tickets? Okay, Stuart will just pop the link up for you again. Stuart, could you do that a couple of times, just every now and again, just randomly pop the link up, just in case people come in at different times? That would be great, thank you. And it's so, and this year, Barb mentioned it last night, we're celebrating obviously 30 years of all things Clarity, aren't we? And so I'm sure that Barbara will have some fantastic 30-year birthday offers. Every hour on the hour, Barb gets up on a chair and does a free prize draw. We have make and takes. We normally have a Groovi make and take, and we have a Stampy or an Arty make and take. So where am I going? So I've done that row now. So now I'm going to turn this way. Yeah, sorry, just checking the camera. But yeah, they're two things. It's all about celebrating getting together with a room of like-minded people, hands-on experience. You can ask all the questions. I mean, it's not like Groovy Tuesday where it's nice and quiet. It can become very what's the word? A polite word of say it becomes very noisy. But it's a great noise. It's like a buzz in the room. It really is. It's something that I always look forward to. So yeah, 2 fun-filled days in June. Lively. Thank you, Mo. That's a nice word to describe it. It's very lively. There's lots of laughter. People often come because they've met up with people there previously, and so they make it sort of like an annual get together if they're traveling from different distances. Yeah, have refreshments. The girls will be in the kitchen making sandwiches, etc., etc. Free parking, mention that. Yeah, free parking. Club discounts on all your shopping. Lots of special offers. If you want any more information, so the tickets are available on the website. If you just search it, put in tickets in the search engine on our website, it will bring you to the tickets, and it will also bring you to the tickets of our summer retreats, also at Ditton, and our parchment retreat at the Spa Hotel in Tunbridge Wells. So yeah, it'll be interesting when I finish here. I'm going to go and see how many tickets have been sold. Who can multitask and go and buy their tickets whilst watching Groovy Tuesday? I'm sure many of you can. But yeah, we made them live this morning, and I know it then puts a post out on Facebook, which I didn't realise. Gilly mentioned it earlier. I said, oh, how people found it already. We haven't told anyone. But there's a couple of things. I know many of you, when you visit our website, you go to the What's New section straight away to see what new goodies we brought you. And then some of you, Jenny said, oh no, it puts a post out on Facebook about a new product being added. I went, oh, that's good to know. So yeah, so they're available to purchase from today. So I'm looking forward to that. And the planning's already started on that, with demonstrators, making takes. Yeah, lots of fun. Okay, so we're now going to work around what angle am I? I've done that angle, and now I'm going in at this angle. Top row first. Ken, the Ditton Open Days are brilliant. A great way of being. It inspires some awesome people, lots of fun and magic company. So good to meet up with all the lovely Clarity Crafters. It really is. For me, it's like a family get together. That's the way that I look at it. People that you've known for years and years and years, and live in different parts of the country, and so they take that opportunity to all come together. So it's like it's like a big family reunion. So much fun. And if I remember rightly, but I do remember, the lovely Pat Hoskins came last year. It was lovely to see Pat again. It's lovely to see all of you, obviously. But I know how much of a journey that was for Pat from Cornwall. So yeah, we had people from Cornwall, we had people from far ends of Scotland. See, that row's now complete because it only had 4 little perforations. So yeah, 2 great days. And before we know it, I mean, I can't believe we're in March already. January and February have just been a blur. Yeah. So we've got that coming up in June. The Ditton summer retreats are in August, and the Spa Parchment retreat is in October. So lots to keep you busy. What else have we got? This week, the lovely Tina Cox. I haven't had a text from Tina yet. She normally texts me during my Facebook Live. She'll be giggling to herself. Tina's on Create and Craft on Thursday with the Pergamano show at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock with some designs from Linda Williams. So she can be sharing her expertise with you then. So we've got, that's the only TV this week. Hang on. Come back. Why don't I'm trying to go to Talk and Pico at the same time is an extra skill that you may choose or choose not to learn. You think I'd have the hang of it by now, wouldn't you? Doing it on TV. And obviously been doing it on Groovi Tuesday as well for the past, what episode are we up to? 86. So let's have a look at my list. Hang on, let's pause that Pico cutting list. So we've got the Pergamano show with Tina, Create and Craft, Thursday, 11 and 3. Open day tickets, £8. Friday the 9th and Saturday the 10th of June. Obviously, we've got Barbara's blog every day, full of inspiration and daily quotes. We then have the Clarity Matters blog that Grace looks after on Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm going to turn around now. Okay, let's go. Hang on, get comfortable. Yeah. Hang on. What are you doing, Paul? Stop. We're going all out of sync. We're going this way, aren't we? So let's do these bits. So I haven't interacted much today. I've kept my head down. And just keep popping up every now and again. Notice that I need eyes on the top of my head. As if I had eyes on the top of my head, I'd be able to, I don't know whether I'd be able to read and still Pico cut at the same time. I don't know about that. Now this is all about to complete. Like so. You can see it starts to falling it on. Yeah, so lots going on. Barb was back in the office yesterday, which was great. Really, really was. The energy that she brings in and the bouncing off. I mean, you can have a conversation with someone on the phone and you can talk about things and you can bounce ideas off of one another. But when somebody's in the same room, it makes a difference. It definitely does. And so that was great yesterday. Looking at designs that Jazz has been working on, slotting them into upcoming TV shows. Yeah. And so when we had a chat this morning, it was as if I was talking to a different person this morning. All of the voice was different. There was bounce and energy, and yeah, it was great. Barb is back. But what she's got to do now is get all those ideas in her head onto paper. Get that tracing paper out, get them drawing. Yeah. What was I saying about we get both of these done? Yeah, no. I should stop setting myself targets at the beginning of each hour. At the end of the day, I'm meant to be enjoying this, and I am enjoying it. But why rush? I will definitely finish this myself next week so we can move on to the next part. What we're going to do, once we've done all of the picot coat, we're going to pop it to one side until I come up with an idea for the center. And that idea I'll reveal next week. Stuart will remind me, won't you, Stuart? There's just a few little, sometimes you get some that just don't want to snip out. So you just have to find where it's being held. And it'll be the last one. There it is. There we go. Okay, so let me just get rid of the picot debris. I'll zoom out in a minute. Oh, missed another one. That's just, where am I? There we go. Look, missed that one. See, it's easy done. Oh, come on. Come on, eagle eyes, Josie. If I miss it, I'm going to go slowly. I can actually see. Yeah, let me get rid of all these bits underneath. I can actually see better looking at the screen to see wherever I've missed it. There's a bit there. Just turn that around. Like so. That one went really wonky. And I've missed that one. There it is. And I missed that one. So you do. Definitely need a magnifying glass. Hang on, sorry. All right. Let's put it on the overhead, and I'm going to go along that one there. Or is it just caught on the back? Oh, dear. Is it gone? Yeah, it's gone. Okay. Let's carry on. Now, some of them look a little bit dodge, but you know what? It doesn't matter. As we said before, it's the overall effect that you're looking at. When I zoom out, or I take my glasses off, can't see any imperfections whatsoever. Yeah, I think we're doing good so far. Let's zoom out and, okay, Jane says in the middle, bottom row. In the middle. This one. Eagle eye, Jane. Is it this one, Jane? Because there's a little bit of a time delay when I ask a question and it comes through. Yes, this one. Thank you. You know what it is? It was missed. Any more? Any more for any more? And the one above. Where? Can't see. Let me get rid of the bits underneath. Any more? Any more for any more? This is great. I love. Oh, ouch. This is great. Interaction with the audience. Brilliant. I'm just looking now. I don't think I've missed any more. Okay. That one doesn't look right there. What's one there? Let's have a look. Well, it's because it's still attached behind. See, sometimes what you have to do is you have to turn it over and just gently rub your finger over the back. Like I've got there's a loose one here. Where's my tweezers? Actually, let's just take. And sometimes, because of all the perforations and the, like this is sort of like sandpaper on the back, and so sometimes they can catch, although they're snipped, they can catch. I mean, we're looking at the back now. So yeah, so sometimes it catches on the back. What was the question? Are you going to show how to do the ribbon, please? Yes, of course I will. We will definitely do that. Oh, sorry. Let me zoom out now. Let's just have a look at the overall static. Hang on. Out. I'm going to zoom right out now. Right out, it says. Right out. Bring that in a little bit more. Whoops. Who moved the chair? That you could have just heard a big crash then. For some reason, when I pushed the chair back, I pushed it back too far. Okay. So we've done the 3 sides. I'm going to finish this side off for my homework. I'm going to make a start on it in a minute. And then, so note to self, let me put it on my notes now. What am I going to show next week? All right, hang on, let me write this down. Because if I put it on this week's notes, then I'll remember it for next week. So next session, ribbon threading, stroke paper threading. Okay. Centerpiece design, question mark. Centerpiece design. And then we're going to do something different with this next week as well. Okay. What we're going to do is something different. I don't want to tell you what we're going to do because some of you will go ahead and do it. You've probably already done it anyway, but I want to show you something different. But yeah, just take it in. See, if you wanted to, you could just picot cut those 2 sides and leave the top unpicot cut. Unpicot cut? Is that the right word? I don't know. Yeah. Or you don't do any picot cutting at all. It's entirely up to you. Choices, choices, choices. And for me, that is the beauty of parchment craft, that it does give you so many different choices. Whether you want to take an elegant design, trace it out on clear or coloured or designer parchment and pop it onto a card, job done. Okay. But I know from experience that once you've done that, you want to learn more. You want to learn the different techniques. Now, you may decide that you just want to learn white work, or you just want to learn colouring, or you want to learn perforating, pico cutting. All of those different techniques stand alone in their own right. The initial part for me with parchment craft is the line art, whether it be a design or whether it be a grid like this. Okay, that is that's the main element to it for the way that I look at it. And I then have the choices. I can take a plate exactly how it comes, depending on the design, trace it out, job done. Or I can decide to do some white work on it, or I can decide to do some colouring, or I can decide to do some perforating. Choices, choices, choices. And for me, with my experience of different types of crafting, there's not many different types of crafting where you can have, I suppose, stamping is one in a way that you can stamp an image. Obviously, you've got different color inks, you've got different types of inks, you've got different mediums to stamp onto. And then you've got different techniques within that, whether it's heat embossing or colouring in or resist stamping. You've got the flexibility there with stamping. But for me, the parchment craft is the line art and the basis of that. And I've seen from many of you over the years, over the past few months, over the past few weeks, that because you have that confidence to get that line art quickly and easily, with no faffing or fussing and everything else, you're happy with what you've got, but you want to be happier, if that makes sense. Gosh, that got really, really, really deep. But I suppose it just shows that I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and I'm in a fortunate position that I have the opportunities to share that with you. And I've learned from everybody. I can still now watch Tina, Linda, Barbara, Josie. I can watch them and I can still learn all these years down the road from a little bit here and a little bit there. And then you try it and you think, not so good first time. But what's the sense of achievement if you get it right first time, if that sort of makes sense? Because you think, oh, I got it right first time. What was the point of that? Sometimes you need to sort of just challenge yourself a little bit. And for me, one of the biggest challenges when it comes to parchment craft, for me personally, was the pico cutting. It took me 6 months to learn it. But golly gosh, I'm glad I've learned how to do it. It definitely makes a difference now to creating beautiful lacework, that when I looked at years and years and years ago and thought, no, I can't do it. But you can. If you've got the right tools and the right equipment, then it can be achievable with ease, seriously. Wow, where did that all come from? That was just... So, thank you all once again for joining me. Thank you for Stuart for helping out in the room. Lovely design team members, Jane, Josie, Glynis. I think that was all that was in the room today. And to you at home, as always, for coming back week after week, whether you decide to tune in live or whether you watch it on catch up, it's there. And if you didn't keep coming back, then I won't be here. So, and for me, you're my excuse for having an hour of calm, fun, entertainment, hearing what you've got to say, asking any questions. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can take part. We had some, I saw a lady who was from Australia earlier. So, I mean, how far away is Australia? But she can tune in whenever she chooses to. So enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget, Tina's on Thursday, 11 and 3. And then I'll be back with you next Tuesday. So whatever the weather is, no snow that I could see earlier on. So if it does snow, then just stay in and do some grooving. All right. Take care now. Bye-bye.